Hey everyone, this is Emilio Dutra. Thank you for tuning in to my third video, man. Thank you, or well, my fourth, but my first one was awesome. Yeah, I look great today. Thank you for noticing. I know. Thank you. I'm surprised you noticed, but it's great that you did. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about some things that scarred me as a kid. I'm going to be talking about a bit about self-discipline and motivation because one of my viewers told me that I should talk about it a bit. And I'm also going to be talking about my week. I have goals that I set for every week, and I'm probably going to be talking about my goals every week. Uh, the only way that I'm not going to be talking about them is if I haven't succeeded at that goal that week. So yeah, this week my goal was to get my sleep schedule straight, and this week it was crazy. Like it was crazy. I basically all I did was just move my alarm clock onto my dresser so that every morning when I wake up, I have to hop over, turn off my alarm clock. Some days I get back into bed and watch YouTube for 10 minutes, but it's way better than sleeping in because I'm already up and I never waste too much time waking up. And honestly, I feel great about it. I'll hope I'll have another goal next week that I complete. Um, so yeah, self discipline and motivation. I find self discipline is just doing things that you don't like doing. I feel like a very underrated thing that a lot of people don't think about is the group that you surround yourself with. It's gonna be very hard to have self discipline and do things that are out of the norm when you hang around a lot of normal people. How do you expect to quit drinking if all your friends are drinking around you every day and you're already in a habit of drinking every day? It's gonna be very difficult. Um, that's just an example, but when you try to change yourself from other people, people aren't going to take that very well. They People don't like to think that because it's a direct reflection of them, right? If I'm not gonna be drinking and you're a drinker and I'm saying I'm not drinking this week, you're not gonna like it because you're like, damn, I know I shouldn't be drinking too, but I'm still doing it. And that's kind of self discipline. It's not really talking about self discipline, but I just find it self discipline just doing things that you don't like doing. And if you do that every day, you'll have great self discipline, I think. Um, so yeah, here are some things that scarred me as a kid. Kind of personal things that I've never really came to terms with in my life, but this is the first week that I have, and it's a short list, but definitely I definitely recommend everybody else to come to terms with their own their own things that scarred them too, because I mean everybody has these mental scars, right? Like I'm missing my leg and my hand. That's something that you can clearly see. That's a physical scar. But I have a bunch of mental things. Like an example of it is maybe your dad beats the shit out of you every time he gets drunk. That's a mental scar that you probably grew up with, that you think about all the time, but nobody else ever knows that. That's just nobody can see that you get beat the shit out of all the time. Um, Anyways, here's some of the things that scarred me. I just have a list, so like I'll just read them, I guess. One of the things was consistently being disrespected by people. This happened when I was young, right? Just like the usual like guy talk, like you talk shit to each other just for no reason. And growing up, like it was like wow, like I would never do that to anybody else, so I never understood why they would do that to me. So but I would accept it because I'd find enough value in that friendship, so I felt like it was cool. Like whatever, you're gonna say that, whatever, I'm gonna be cool with it because like I'm the bigger guy. But realistically, I should have just told them like, yo, like I'm not chill with you saying any of that shit, and I'm just gonna stop hanging out with you if you do. Um, that carried on like into my high school years. Like I began getting okay with not too many friends, but I became okay with a certain or two friends. Where we'll be talking all week about some plan on Saturday, and then I'll hit them up on Saturday, and they just ghost me. Instead of saying like, "Hey man, I can't make it tonight," etc. Here's why. They'll just ghost me and leave me in the blue, and like should I make new plans, like, etc. It is disrespectful, and I would just be okay with that. Not really say too much about it. Just kind of be okay with it. Never even cut them off. I don't know, that type of stuff. I do think about that, and it kind of did bother me. But I've grown and I'm okay with it now. It's no one's fault that I let them disrespect me, because this was a habit that I'd grown as a kid, and I mean, I was the one doing the action of letting them disrespect me, and kind of accepting it. And people that disrespect you are gonna keep taking more and more every inch you give them. So you have to expect that type of stuff to happen. Um, Part of the reason why I always felt uh disrespected and stuff, and I was okay with it, is because I would always put people on this pedestal. So you're this cool, I'm this cool, and these are normal ass people. Everybody, in my opinion, is just a normal ass person, but I would think of them as so much cooler. This actually kind of carried into me growing a big ego for myself and thinking I'm the shit. Um, because the same way I used to think, bro, this guy's cooler than me. Well, now I'm only hanging around cool kids, so I'm cooler than most of the people I'm talking to. You know what I mean? That's the way it carried into my ego. Me thinking like I'm cooler than I am or something. Um, I don't know. I look back on those days and it is kind of like, that is dumb as shit, but it's what happened. This is history that happened, so I can't say oh, I never did that. Like, that would be a lie. When I was 16, I got acne, and I was ugly or whatever. It was bad though. It was really bad. Trust me, it wasn't just a couple pimples. Girls always complain, just shut the fuck up about all that. It's not bad. You haven't seen me in grade 10. Anyways, being ugly and shit kind of fucked me up, right? Because seeing the way I'm treated, I began thinking the only way to get girls is through DMs, because all my friends get girls through DMs and it works for them. But I'm dog shit at DMing girls. Even if I'm looking good looking, I'm still dog shit at DMing girls. So I don't know, it was never gonna work. But still seeing the way I was treated and stuff by a couple people, it shaped me. Another problem I had growing up was I never would write down my goals and stuff that I'm going for. So it was never concrete, I need to do this every day to try to get to this goal. And it did kind of fuck me up. I wish I had those goals. Another problem was I would drink alcohol often when I don't even like alcohol. I was actually thinking about making a whole video about the topic of alcohol, drugs and alcohol. But anyways, yeah, drugs and alcohol, I don't like doing them. They make me sad, and I would continue doing them. And being drunk, you're always low-key sober, you know what you're doing, and doing shit that I would not normally do. And that's why I find it funny when girls text me when they're drunk, because it's we both know what's going on here. The last thing that I was trying to do that I did was more or less had a lot to do with social media and feeling validated by social media. Growing up, these numbers kind of did validate me. I remember what it's like to have 2,000 followers, think I'm the shit. To say, not completely think I'm the shit, but because I always used to think I was the shit, but I would never say oh, that didn't have a major effect on me thinking I was the shit. It definitely did. Some evidence that I've grown as a person is I have no idea any of my social media numbers except YouTube, because YouTube is something that I am trying to do. It's not really a social media where you're doing nothing all day, because I mean, I have to make this content for you guys and I have to get it somehow, right? Yeah, my Instagram numbers, I have no idea. When I used to check them almost daily. And well, I normally don't have the Instagram app either throughout the week, but it still feels good not knowing any of them. And I the posts I post are just videos, so I don't know, I just kind of lost that care for wanting to be that cool, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, this was so yeah, that pretty much concludes my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched this whole thing and listened, that is great. This is crazy. Like, I love you guys. I only have like 50 subs, so if you have a Gmail, like, you can subscribe to me. It's okay. It's not illegal. Um, and it would help me out a lot. I'm not gonna ask for subscribers every fucking video, because I know that's dog shit. Um, but this is a dream of mine, and you just making a couple of clicks, you could help me on that road to my dream, and it would mean a lot. Um, Probably the only time I'm gonna ask. I apologize for even asking. You know, kind of private terms. Um, but yeah. Other than that, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week.